Hey guys, and welcome to another tutorial of Lightroom. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you the tools that you can use to do local adjustment. So to do that, first of all, let's add a photo. Now, I can browse computer and let's say I want to select something a little complicated to edit and need local adjustment. Particularly, I believe this photo is ideal to do that. Now, I'm going to add the photo, and just for the sake of simplicity, I am going to just click auto, just do a global automatic correction. And now, when it's done, I'm going to reduce the exposure just a little bit. The reason behind to save this highlight of the web splash, because that's one of the best part and I don't want to overexpose it or clip it. But problem, when you do that, you have done you reduce the exposure, but problem is that it looks darker now, the whole photo. So you don't want the whole photo to be darker. So you have three tools here to do local adjustment. The adjustment number one is the brush tool. Adjustment number two is the linear gradient tool. And third one is the radial gradient tool. Now, we are going to use the first one first, the brush, obviously. Now, to do that, if you're using mouse, you can always roll the wheel to make it bigger or smaller, or manually use here. Now, I am going to try to recover some shadow from in this little hill. Now, once it's done, by the way, this photo was taken in Madeira, Portugal. Anyway, now we have many ways to fix or recover shadow. We can maybe use the exposure, and you can of course click this little plus, or keep the brush tool and keep brushing a little bit more. Now obviously this does not look professional whatsoever, so you don't want to do it too much, maybe just a touch. If you're not happy with it, you can always click shadow, the traditional shadow tool, to add shadow. And once you are done, let's say, you can, because the shadow looks green now, or sorry, blue, so you can make it warm a little bit. In order to do that, you can either reduce the saturation to take all the color out, or you can go to the white balance and add warmth in it, whatever works for you. So I've shown you one of the tool, and you can of course do many other things. You practically can do everything. When I say everything, I mean everything with a local adjustment locally. You can add sharpness, reduce sharpness, noise reduction, difference, you name it, you all have it. Now, let's say right here at the bottom of the splash, I want to recover some shadow detail from there and add some texture. So I'm going to go to the gradient tool, the round gradient tool, drag it and bring it over here. And you can always make it bigger or smaller, doesn't matter. And you can of course move it wherever you prefer. Pretty cool. Now, once you're done, maybe just a little bit on the top. And of course you can add some feather to make sure it's, nice and smooth. So you've done it, right? So once you've done it, you can use the shadow to recover shadow, obviously. Looks like I'm doing a very good job. And then you can add some clarity. And it looks nice, punchy, and wonderful. I like it personally a lot. And you can of course use the brush again to use the exact same adjustment to brush a little bit on the top, right there, so that it can match perfectly, and you can do a little bit on the top side. looks like. Now it looks perfect. Now, what about the sky? Now let's do something with the sky. In order to do that, we can go to the gradient tool and pull the gradient tool like that. Now you can see that it's touching the top of the splash. So you can bring it over there on the top, push it a little bit and pull it down as much as you can, and looks about right. Now, what can we do to do the use that tool? I want to have some little bit more exposure on the sky. Not too much though, because you don't want to make this look weird, and want to make the sky a little bit more green. You know what I mean? So you can see that the limit. So I want to bring it over a little bit more, just down. That should be all right, I guess. Now, once you've done it, I want to add a little bit of saturation to make the blue a little bit more bluer, obviously. So that looks about right. And let's play with the hue a little bit. Let's see what it does. But you don't want to go too crazy. You want to just make it just about right. And looks, so far, everything looks good. Now, there's another thing I want to do. I want to go back to the brush, add a new brush, and do something at that department. Bring out a little bit more brightness right there. And now to do that, maybe I can play with the white. White looks good. Add some texture. Maybe a little bit more exposure. Wonderful. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you have learned how to use all the local adjustment tool, the brush tool, the linear gradient tool, and the radial gradient tool in Lightroom very easily. Sky is the limit. You can do anything you like with that tool. I hope this tutorial has been very useful. If so, like and subscribe, and I see you in the future video. Bye bye.